Sports shows mashing it up. Two of the best. Two of
Yes,
the best
sir.
ever. We talking goats right here. Goats. GOATs. All right. We got the vault in the building. I got my man D-Wick George. What up, D-Wick?
What's good with you, Dre? I'm excited, man. This is gonna be a great Monday night show. Let's get it.
And you know it. Listen, Monday Night Madness is in the building too. I'm the fire starter, Andre the Torch Robinson, the Torch, the fire starter, with my team too. And my team got New England Patriots hats on. Dallas Oliver's in the building. What's good, Dallas? What's popping? I got my man Jared Mullen from Pylon to Pylon. Monday Night Madness is on as well. I got my bro Gargamel. He says his name is Gargamel tonight, but it's Ricky Wilms acting up as usual in the house. And I have to mention my special guest. Listen carefully. I'm gonna tell you this right now. He has been gone for a minute, but now he's back with the jump on. He's back with the jump on. My man is a LA Rams extraordinaire. He's a phenomenal bro. I've been talking to him for a while, and I had to book this man to get him on the show. My man, John Agados. What's up, John? What's good, man? It's good to have you back, bro. Make sure y'all unmute your mics. We are gonna party like it's 1999. What is good, everybody? And John, what's good, my bro?
Yeah, everything's. I'm happy to see the growth that since I've left and how everything is. But I'm glad you guys stuck with my name with Monday Night Madness that I came up with before I had to take care of some stuff for life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, that's a shout out to my bro, and he's back in the building. By the way, John doesn't know. I'm definitely trying to get him back for Monday Night Madness for sure, because he's right about that. Totally 100% right. All right. I want y'all to like and share the show right now. I want y'all to like and share. Let's get this joint jumping. Y'all already know what it is. D-Wick, what's good, bro? What is popping?
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I think the first thing on the ballot has to be the Jamal Adams trade, guy. I mean, like, that's probably the biggest NFL news. And the potential that the Seahawks team has this year. But guys, first of all,
I love this defense.
What was everybody's take on the Jamal Adams trade, though? What was everybody's take on it? Let's go with you first, Jared.
Well, it depends what angle you're talking, because there's so many different angles.
Let's go on the Seahawks angle rather than the Jets angle right now.
I absolutely love it for the Seahawks, and for a few reasons. One, I mean, you kind of see it right here on the paper. I mean, they're gonna have a savage defensive core, and I think I've been talking a lot about safety duos, and I think they have the potential to take that top spot for safety duos in the league. I think Quandre Diggs is a huge sleeper, and I think he's flourished since he went to free safety from corner and from the Lions to the Seahawks. So I think he's played great. Trey Flowers has actually had elite moments in the NFL already. So we'll see what happens. And Shaquille Griffin's a solid corner, and he could potentially be a good number one. I think they give up 2 first-round picks, so it disables Pete Carroll's ability to let his Pac-12 bias get in the way and make bad draft picks. So, I mean, really saving himself at that point. And you're getting Jamal Adams. The defense it's honestly close to a complete defense. There's just a few more pieces that need to be added or maybe switched around, but they're close to a complete defense.
Woo, let's go Monday Night Madness. Let's go. Jared giving you that fire.
I mean, look at the guys on paper, and then they still have Nico Thorpe, who's a solid corner. They have Jaron Reed and Poona Ford inside on the D-line, who I like a lot, both of them. I mean, they got guys. They just needed to put a few more pieces around. KJ Wright and Bruce Irvin are kind of old, so they're going to look to replace them soon. KJ Wright's still playing okay, though. I mean, you have Bobby Wagner, the best linebacker in the league, so.
Yeah, he's crazy.
That defense has a lot of potential.
Let's go. Can we get my man John? John, what's your thoughts on this?
So when I first saw that Jamal Adams, I'm really happy for Jamal Adams getting out of the Jets. That is for that mess, because he's a great player and he deserves to play with elite players. So I feel like it's a good fit. I'm keeping my bias out of this because it's not, as a Rams fan, I don't like that they're trying to create another LOB. So
Mm.
But
Okay.
I mean, they have the pieces, but some of them are older. And when LOB started, it was younger, and so I kind of see that they're trying to, by making this move and paying Jamal Adams this money, they're definitely going to go. They're going for a Super Bowl run right away. It's Buster. If you see, yeah, this is. I mean, they could potentially. I mean, the NFC West is loaded. It used to be called the NFC Worst, and now it's the NFC Best.
Yeah.
So,
Dallas.
I mean, I've heard a few different points of view on this. I guess you could look at it either way, that it's the Seahawks won the trade or the Jets won the trade. I think neither team really lost. If you look at it from the Seahawks perspective, they are trying to inject some of that youth into the defense in the back end that they so desperately needed when they had the 1-2 punch of Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas, and solidify the back end to make that potential Super Bowl run. And you look at it from the Jets' perspective, a team that is still kind of trying to find their way, which I feel that their defense obviously has not gotten better by losing Adams, but they got a player that can help fill and bridge some of the gap with Marcus May, fill his absence in that of Bradley McDougald. You got the 2 first-round picks, and then I believe also they got a third-round pick from the Seahawks too. So they now have 2 first-round picks for the next 2 years, plus a 3 in the mid-round. It all depends if Gaze can draft well. I think Gaze drafted well this past year. So if he lasts long enough to start putting his vision together for the next 2 years, there's a lot of depth and talent coming out of the college ranks these next few years. And I think the Jets have been picking up solidly. So they could potentially have a very good competitive team for the next 2 years.
Okay.
I think the stock in that middle round pick isn't really much, just because it was a swap with a 4th round pick. So you're really just moving up a handful of spots
out of the middle round. So
yeah, I mean, it's a move up, really. We'll see how you got to see how the draft plays out at that point next year.
So real quick, first of all, let me introduce my co-host real quick because he just came there. Dennis, what's good with you, brother?
What's going on, man?
You awake? You had a good nap?
good to see you, Dennis. It's been a while.
All right. What was your thoughts on the trade?
From the Seahawks' perspective.
If the Jets can draft well, they won hands down. But the Jets don't draft that well, so we'll have to wait and see.
I don't see it happening anytime soon, but
I mean, it is a new GM who's from Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to the GM, Douglas. It was a good move.
so
Don't know how to use those draft picks.
yeah, they have potential then, so that's good.
Okay,
I didn't
Ricky.
know.
All right, all I'm going to say is this whole trade was a good trade for the Seahawks because they got someone to help Shaquille because he was only, no offense, he's only got one hand. So
That's not that Shaquille.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean.
Shaquille.
They got both of them. Both of them are good players.
That's Shaquem. You talking about Shaquem? Shaquem doesn't start.
He's a linebacker.
He's the linebacker.
He's going to be starting this year, I think.
Shaquem's the corner, Shaquille's the linebacker.
Well, anyway,
They're gonna do a little switching between 3, 4, and 4.
behind it.
As he says, I'm not trying to be smart.
Okay, come on.
It's on you, Andre.
It's on
Yeah.
me. It's on the fire
That's true.
starter. Listen.
Always starting forest fires over here. But
Absolutely. You know I'm about to start a forest fire. Listen, I think this.
I think I technically started it, but
right.
you reignited
Jared,
it.
listen. Monday Night Madness came on here. Jared started a definite forest fire. I'm about to put some gasoline on it.
fact checked, I started it.
Listen,
Back with the fact checks.
Facts check it. Listen, we here for the record. All right. I think it was a good trade for both teams. But here's the thing: I think the Jets won this thing. I really do. I think the Jets got enough out of it. They need pieces to help that team out. Jamal Adams is a piece that, if they draft well, maybe they'll get back. Maybe they'll get some other pieces to help that team in the near future. Even though I will tell you this, I'm not really sold on the Jets drafting at all. I mean, Dennis said that firsthand. I'm not sold on it. Adam Gase is the coach. Man, listen, anybody who could get away from Adam Gase, I think it's a blessing. Jamal Adams is real happy about going to a contender, playoff contender, Super Bowl contender, maybe if they got if they get that defense right. And, hey, I think the Jets won this one, but there is talk. There's people who are talking hypotheticals. Let's say Russell Wilson goes down. Does those picks go from bottom 10 picks in the first round draft, like maybe top 5 picks, top 10 picks, maybe? I mean, that's a hypothetical that we only gonna find out when the season goes along. I mean, Russell Wilson's never been injured, so I wouldn't suspect that. I wouldn't expect that to happen, but I mean, there are things in play that change the dynamics. I think the Jets won this one, though. I'm gonna be very honest with you. The Jets won, but Jamal Adams also won because he's on a playoff contender team. That's how I feel.
Well, it's good for him, really.
So I'll go. I'm excited that Jamal Adams got off the team. Now we don't have to hear him cry no more. That's one thing.
Yeah, serious. I totally agree with you. Sorry to interrupt.
I was tired of hearing the man cry. That's for sure.
$800K to play for the Jets and Adam Gase. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, I get it. I understand, but I'm tired.
$800K to play for Adam Gase and the New York Jets.
And I get it. I understand, but I don't like hearing players cry. I don't like it. I was tired of hearing the guy cry. Another thing is that I will point out, though. I want to point,
I mean, D-Wick, what was the cry? What was the cry? Just in the season?
He just kept talking about how. Go ahead. I'll back you up too, but go ahead.
You said what was it? Cries? The man the whole offseason he's been talking trash about his coach, the GM, the owner, the player, his team, his deep.
I said, what was the cry? Just in the season? Jets?
You said what was the prize?
He said, what was the cry just in the season? Jets. Just in the season.
Thank you.
Okay.
But this is what I was saying. I don't see why he shouldn't be crying. We just seen everybody that played for Miami. When they left Miami, they all became better players. Everybody, not just one. Everybody.
Every single big defensive player trade that happened went to a good team or thought was a good team, like the Bears.
You guys are applauding this man for crying to get off the team. But wait. There's more. But there's more. There's more. But let Antonio Brown cry about getting off the team. You guys are upset.
Yeah, Antonio Brown doesn't
hold on.
There's a lot more.
Hold on. Let me speak. Just the year before, when they got Le'Veon Bell all season, they got all season. When they picked up what's the Quentin Williams, he was excited. He was excited to play with those rookies. He was excited to play with that team. He was excited to play. He's gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna win the Super Bowl. They're gonna do all this. But guess what though? They start being bad. They look pretty bad and everything, and then
I need to hear somebody say the Jets are winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, let me start crying so I can get my way out. But let it be Antonio Brown when he doesn't want to play with Big Ben because Big Ben's talking crap about him for the whole season. Hey, it's a problem. But hey, if he does it though, it's okay. But like I said, I was tired of hearing him cry. Good trade though, because he is a good safety. I think he is quite a little bit overrated, but he's a good safety. But good trade for them. That defense on the Seahawks is going to be good. That defense looks pretty stout over there. So I'm excited to see that. It's a great trade for the Jets because you get 3 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick, and they got a decent safety in McDougal. So I'm excited to see that too with their picks. Adam Gase is a terrible coach. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But like I said, if the GM can get them picking,
he needs the pressure put on him through his players. Like he needs to get out of there. They need him gone.
Yeah, that boy straight dumpster juice.
The pressure needs to be put on him.
Eventually, he'll do it to himself. So
you heard?
What happened?
Alphabet said, "Can he get in?"
Yeah. He's gonna end his career with the Cowboys, though. Realistically, I still think.
Hey guys, when everybody's talking, if somebody else is talking real quick, make sure we mute our mics. That way they can have a too. That way we're not stepping over each other.
Well, who has the controls? Because then you can mute. That always bothered you a long time ago.
I'm say glad he didn't go to the Eagles or the Boys right now.
There's just one person can control the mics. So.
But then Dre, you got it. You can do that. But all right, let's go to the next one. we were talking about this earlier in the chat, but as you saw, Keenan Allen had some choice words for, Cheetah, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin saying that he was better than him. He was a little upset about his rating last year on the top 100. Well, this year technically on the top 100. Guys, do you guys agree that he is better than those three players? Where do you guys rank Keenan Allen? What's your take on that?
Who? Keenan Allen better than who? Mike Evans?
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and he said Cheetah. So Tyreek Hill. That's who he said he was better than.
Wow. Keenan Allen is not better than two of those. I'm sorry to say this. I'm putting it out there.
Some would argue, though.
He's not better than Mike Evans, and he's not better than Tyreek Hill. You can stop that now. Chris Godwin, yeah. I'll give him Chris Godwin, but he ain't better than those other two. I'm sorry.
Chris Godwin is really not, whatever.
Chris Godwin is a number two. I give Keenan Allen a lot of credit. He is a phenomenal route runner. He's really good. He's
just underrated.
Routes. He's very underrated. I agree with that. When he needs to, he can run those routes. The 19, 20, the 25-yard routes. He can do that. But he's not Mike Evans. And he's dang on sure as the cheetah. I think Mike Evans and Tyreek Hill are top 7, if not top 5 wide receivers. I think Keenan Allen is right outside the top 7.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
And here come Debo. We're gonna mute his mic immediately as soon as he walks.
Don't you mean here comes?
Debo? Who else? I beat him down. I'll beat you down too, Craig.
Muhammad Ali.
It's the rematch, Craig. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
What's up, Marcus?
How you doing, Marcus? Long time.
What's up, guys? What's up? Happy to be back in the house. Went on a little road trip to the Dirty Curry. All my Clovis people out there. What's up? What's up, Frederick? All my Clovis people out there. What's going on, man? Let's do this. Alphabet. Let's go.
Well, Marcus, this is the topic at hand. Can you see it?
Is that about Dak? I swear to God, it's a Dak Prescott.
It drives me crazy, man. Like, I guess a lot of these players, a lot of them are real young. So like their Madden rating is like they take that very personally.
They shouldn't because it's a rookie year too.
No, but all the players, even like the older players, they take that really seriously because it's like, it's basically how like these guys perceive you. These EA Sports guys, I would not want to be in their position having to defend their rating that they give to somebody.
But doesn't it change? It changes throughout the season, though, with production.
Yeah, it does change, and that's cool. But it's like this is what you think of me like right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really
like right now. And it does change, and that's cool. But it's like number one, Keenan Allen. What is the best ability, guys? Y'all hear me say this all the time.
Him and Mike Evans are both healthy before this conversation. Are unhealthy before this conversation. They both miss games.
Keenan Allen's been hurt a lot. He's been hurt a lot.
He actually has a complete season though. Games started. Mike Evans actually doesn't. Do you know that Mike Evans has had at least like 1,300 yards every year he's been? Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm talking about availability though. They're about the same.
But I'm just saying though.
Yeah, that's hard to. But Godwin and them, yeah.
He has 1,300 yards every year he's been in the season.
Hey, Marcus, could you also, when you say that, you do have to tell the public and the people in the back the big difference on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the San Diego Chargers. That is one thing that nobody's talking about right now. I'm starting to notice.
Los Angeles.
Who's a better? Okay, all right. We want to do that. Who's a better quarterback? Who's been a better quarterback? Jameis Winston.
No. That's not what we talking about. That's not what we talking about.
What are we talking?
That's not what we talking about.
What are we talking about?
One team is a running team. The other team hasn't been a dominant running team since Doug Martin.
Okay, that's true.
That's why productivity. True. That's why productivity. One guy looks better, another one looks, low on productivity. But
that's
if we go by
the last three, they're both very comparable.
If we go on by straight talent, they're the same guy.
No,
They're not.
They're the same guys. We're going by straight
They're
talent.
not. I disagree. I disagree. Mike Evans, dude.
Tell me something that Mike Evans does that Keenan Allen can't do.
Let's go through everybody's takes.
Go get the ball. Go get the ball. He's 6'5", bro.
Oh
He's
wait, so
everybody's
you didn't watch that Thanksgiving game a couple years ago when he went up against your $3 Cowboys and went and got the ball? Keenan Allen,
I understand. I'm talking about that's his game. Mike Evans, you can throw the ball like he will jump out the stadium and go get it.
Keenan Allen will go get it too, but he hasn't had all those opportunities. Again, one guy got more opportunities than other. This is the big difference on this.
So watch this. I would only agree with that. That synopsis of that if your man Melvin Gordon actually was hitting 1,000 yards per season.
No, it's not that Melvin Gordon hit 1,000 yards. If you look at their three running backs, they have
Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson.
They had three running backs that average over 4 yards to carry.
And look at the receiving yards of Eckler.
Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna get to that. I get what you saying, Dennis, and that's good. But let's be clear. Go look at Phillip Rivers and his passing attempts in the last 3 or 4 seasons. And then go look at how many yards he's thrown for each season and tell me if the Chargers are run team first again.
Okay, but let me add this too. I mean, again. Now you talk about that the Chargers are more of a running team. What about when you got to share? What about when you got to share a bunch of throws with 2 other receivers? I mean, let's not get it twisted. What do you say, Dre? Keep it a buck. Who's on the other side of Mike Evans? Who's on the other side?
True. Of course, he's getting all those targets.
Austin Eckler had almost 1,000 receiving yards at running back.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So it's like let's not act like. And here's the other thing: Mike Evans is what the Jets thought Keyshawn Johnson was going to be, a big, tall receiver that could go get the ball. You name me another receiver in the league right now. What do I call guys that are uncommon? We don't see a whole bunch of them. What do we call?
He's not a unicorn. Stop. Please stop with that. He's not.
Name me another receiver. Okay, name me another receiver that's 6'5". Name me another receiver playing right now that's 6'5" and has 1,000 yards. He's Calvin Johnson minus the speed. That's what Mike Evans is.
Look, you're putting
AJ Green minus the sideline catchability.
All right, guys, one person at a time.
Hold on. You're kind of pushing on the unicorn right there because he's just AJ Green, but honestly, he's worse than AJ Green though. Because AJ Green is definitely way better than Mike Evans when he's healthy. But
yeah,
but that's the thing with AJ Green. He ain't ever listen.
Mike Evans is never healthy either though. Let's
and neither is Keenan Allen. That's what I'm saying. That argument is
he has 1,000. He has 12 to 1,300 yards every season.
So hold on, wait, Marcus. He can literally do the same thing that AJ Green did because AJ Green 2 years ago could have broke Randy Moss's record for 5 straight. Well, yes, he could have broke his record for 6 straight 1,000-yard seasons, but he got injured at the end of the season. Who's to say Mike Evans doesn't get injured? Which I'm not hoping on him. Who's to say he doesn't get injured this season? And that record just goes away, and he doesn't average those yards. So let's not say that he's definitely not a unicorn. But Mike Evans is definitely better than Keenan Allen, though. That's for sure. And that's what I will do.
I don't think Mike Evans, talent-wise, is better. Talent. I'm not talking about.
Let's go through everybody's takes.
I'm not talking about productivity. I'm talking about talent. Now you can go on productivity, y'all. Okay. I'm talking about talent. There's
okay, and I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Right. There's nothing Mike Evans does that Keenan Allen can't do.
All right, let's make sure everyone goes one person at a time. I don't mean to be like that. No one can hear anybody.
No, I'm saying like everybody gives their takes and then talk about it.
Yeah, go ahead. One at a time with the takes.
Let's find a debate. It's just no. Yeah,
go ahead. What's yours, John?
I'm sorry.
What's your take?
You guys were really into it first, so you guys. Was it? I will come back to my take. Let me come back to it because I was kind of. I'm trying to process everything right now. What's going on?
Let me hear Dallas. I haven't heard Dallas in a second.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so I gotta give my take on this, and I hate to do this, but after I give my take, I gotta bounce for a few minutes. I might be able to come back in later, but I'll give my take on this before I bounce for a minute. So with this, I think Keenan Allen wasn't far off. Like, I think those guys that he listed are better receivers than him. Like, I think both Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and definitely Tyreek Hill are better than him. I would actually even take Godwin over Evans. That's kind of a 1A, 1B thing.
That's crazy.
Well, no, I think Godwin is more talented of the two. But we'll see that this year, too. But I think Keenan Allen's definitely top 10. But he does get too much into his feelings, like with this ratings thing and stuff. And he doesn't need to be speaking out like that because your actions on the field and your production speak louder than the words that you're directing at other players. Like, it doesn't really mean much unless you go out there and produce. Even if you get less targets, the amount that you do with those targets will still be reflected in your things like yards per catch, the average yards and stuff like that. So it's still possible to match those numbers to a degree of somebody who gets more targets than Mike Evans does.
I wanted to say one last.
You can go, Marcus. You can go if you want.
Hold on.
I'm looking at
everybody's take. After everybody's take, I want to read these comments.
Okay, look. After the comments. Look. I'm looking at Mike Evans' stats right here. 2014, he had 783 yards. 2015, he had 725 yards.
You mean Keenan Allen stats? Wait. That's not Mike Evans stats.
No. This is this is Keenan Allen. And then another year he had 63 yards. These are all three when he kept tearing it. He kept tearing his ACL. That's 3 straight years. He's never had double-digit touchdowns. It's like it's not even a discussion. And you got okay. I guess we can ask this too: is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Yes, he is. Except for he's probably. I mean, I would say yes. I would say he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I know. Every time that he went, he didn't win in an AFC Championship game. But the fact of the matter is, he went to so many of those games, and based off his statistics. But at the same time, you could argue that he's not because he hasn't won a Super Bowl. There's just who was that Buffalo Bill wide receiver that was
Andre
Reed. Andre Reed should be a Hall of Famer, and he's not. Because he didn't win a Super Bowl. So we're going to say that because Phillip Rivers.
Did Dan Marino win a Super Bowl?
No, but that's usually I'm just saying that's what the general.
Wait. I know that's not what we're doing.
Did Jim Kelly win a Super Bowl?
Hold on.
Time out.
Let's not go straight up.
Whoa. This is not what we're doing here. This is not what we're doing. I know this is not what we're doing. This ain't what we're doing. This is how it's definitely going to come down to this. Is Phillip Rivers going to the Hall of Fame? Yeah, he ain't going first ballot though. But he's going because he's a quarterback. Let's keep it real. All right.
You're right.
Them writers like quarterbacks. Does he deserve it? No. I think he's overrated. But that's just on everything else.
I'm just saying.
Dre, read some comments.
Yeah, let me read these comments.
I don't want to know.
All right, so Ramona Dye said that's not biased at all. Melissa said hello. Brett said ain't nobody care about the sea chickens. TC Casey said go get some water for the analyst Quiddy. Dominique News said hello everybody. Dalton said I can hear him now. Oh, they have to overpay, said TC Casey. Then Ramona said he's not better than either of them. Marcus is in the house, said Melissa. Keenan Allen's attitude makes him not as good as Godwin, said Ramona. Evans is physical and very imposing. Very true, Ramona. Thank you. AFC period. Evans begs defense to double him more than half those battles. Oh my goodness, I'm loving Ramona tonight.
She's always gonna fight.
One said TC Casey. Ramona said Allen can get deep and he challenges defense, but he cannot beat teams when he's double teamed. Just said Evans is better than him. Your man, the Detroit Lions guy, said
don't read what he said.
Which Detroit Lions guy? Which one? There's like
it's
oh, he's back.
Yeah, it's all good. Robert Leader to
the
corner. LOL. Ramona said, "If we all get on the show to be heard, no one will be watching." That's hilarious. I love it. Thank you, Ramona. TC Casey said he left that part out. Letitia Hardison is in the building. What's up? Ready to blast off. Fasten your seatbelts. Yep, absolutely. If the media patriots talking, LOL, said Robert Leader. I thought it was Bell being with the Jets. Bell ain't did nothing with the Jets. The Saints fan, Keenan Allen is not better than Mike Evans. TC Casey said,
Sorry about that.
Seattle has to pay this guy early. Ramona said, just kidding. Seattle won this trade. Will Jamal Adams become the next Cam Chancellor? No. Reading more comments. You was tired of hearing AB as well. Said Ramona Chadwick. Why you talking about AB? You did not put all AB BS on Big Ben just now. Oh shoot, they going 8. Robert Leader said the Seahawks signed whiny little babies. Yo, these comments is crazy. Glad to see that.
I mean, they're much more censored than I remember the last.
Yes, glad to see that it's still alive. Keep in mind when running the show. Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. You've been on the same topic for 20 minutes. Yep, this dude is ridiculous. It brings down the discussion. Oh, I don't know who that is. Andre, you better skip my SH. I'm not skipping it. Y'all better put some respect on Mike Evans' name, says Sharon Mullen. What's up, Sharon? Evans, talent-wise, is better than Allen. Sorry, Dennis. Allen, shut up. Ball out and prove them wrong then. Because right now you ain't better than them. Not even Godwin. Whoa. Nah,
You gotta look, it's to me, it's like with the discussion with DeAndre Hopkins versus Julio Jones and Michael Thomas. Your quarterback, who your quarterback is, makes you a lot of times too. If you got a garbage quarterback and you're still getting numbers, I think that when you got Matt Schaub throwing the ball to you, and then the other guy has Matty Ice and Drew Brees throwing to him. I think that shows your talent as compared to those guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he has Deshaun Watson. I'm not gonna go. That's a whole different topic. He has Deshaun Watson throwing to him now as a top 10 quarterback. That's a different. At the
end of his time, they're not his whole. I'm saying like a guy
for the
like
last 3 years though.
I'm saying like for Julio Jones, you've had Matt Ryan your whole career. Whole career, bro.
I'm gonna move on to the next topic because I can talk about that for days. But Julio Jones is a unicorn, right? But that's besides the point.
Julio Jones is a unicorn.
That's a unicorn.
That's a real unicorn.
He can do that with any quarterback. But next
that's
topic,
a real unicorn.
Jadeveon Clowney has still not got signed.
Ain't nobody care.
I care because I want him. I want something else nice. Dennis.
That ain't nothing nice. You can have him.
You can have him, right? But who do we feel? Real quick though, it's gonna be a quick topic. Who do we feel he's gonna go to? Quick down the line. Somebody talk one person at a time, obviously. But let's go with you first, Dennis. Who do you think he's going to?
The Jets.
Marcus.
Cowboys.
Oh my!
He's going to the Cowboys, guys. It's going to happen.
Andre.
Titans.
Jared.
Browns.
Ricky.
He's going back home because nobody else wants him. Seattle.
Am I missing anybody?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm going. I'm saying he's going to the Cowboys also. But I think they're not. He's not going to have a big contract, obviously. But he definitely doesn't deserve one either. So that's another thing.
Hey, Chadwick, real quick. Let me step in and interject. I want to say something. Who said that Andre Reed is not in the Hall of Fame?
That was
Detroit guy.
No, that was the original mandate man. This whole forgot his name though.
John Agnos.
John Agnos.
Yeah, me and John Agnos originally. Yeah, Andre Reed is in the Hall of Fame, by the way. He is in all of them. He was inducted just recently, actually. But okay, move on.
It was a good fact check.
I just had to fact check that. Go ahead.
Good fact check. All right.
Woo!
AFC edition. You guys see it? What don't you agree with? What do you agree with? What do you think is actually where it should be? Go with you first, Andre, because you seem a little confused.
Woo! Woo! Yeah. So, number one, first and foremost, the Bills just right. Are we talking about this past season, or are we talking about the Bills from like the year before? Because if we talk about the Bills right now, then they got it right. Then I will say they got it right. And
They're talking about the Bills right now. This is from this going in.
Okay, I just needed the premise. If it's about right now, then I'm going to say that that's correct. New England is definitely correct, only because we haven't seen what Cam Newton has done yet, is going to do yet. There, I think Baltimore's right. I think Tennessee overrated. I don't know, man, about that overrated. I think they're very underrated, if you ask me, not overrated. I mean, you don't just make it to the AFC Championship game by beating two of the best teams in the AFC and you're overrated. I disagree with that totally. I think Baltimore is just right until they win a playoff game. I think they're just right. Kansas City obviously is just right. I do not think that the Broncos are overrated. I think that the Broncos just need to make a couple of moves, and they'll be just right where they need to be. I think the Steelers are definitely underrated with those quarterbacks they had last year. I think a lot of people forget Big Ben is still around. The Browns, yeah, I'll keep them at just right. I'll keep the Raiders at underrated. The Raiders were a playoff team, a playoff contender team to the last 3 weeks of the season. Underrated the Chargers. I don't know about underrated. In fact, I think Chargers may even be even more overrated after this season is over with. Justin Herbert might be starting by week 5, week 6 if Tyrod can't get it right. The Bengals, just right. The Jaguars is definitely just right. Just right. And I ain't talking about common either. The Texans, just right. I think I think the Texans might be a little overrated this year. Without no real weapons, I don't think. Listen, people want to keep trying to tell me that Brandon Cooks is a replacement for D Hop. You're fooling yourself. Okay,
he's not. Joke.
Absolutely not. That's pathetic. No, I think they're overrated. I think Miami is up and coming, definitely. So that's how I feel about that. Y'all can go ahead.
Garrett.
I think the Patriots are just right. I agree with the Titans being underrated. I think their defense is definitely underrated.
Thank you.
And if Christian Fulton can play up to his potential, they have 2 legit corners. So they're kind of building a lockdown defense. Baltimore Ravens, I think, are just right. They still got to show it in the postseason. So we can't say they're under or overrated because they're definitely a really good team. So Chiefs are obviously just right. They're the champs. Bills, it depends because I feel like they're a polarizing team right now, even though I feel like they're going to be very good. I think they're going to be like 13-3 legit. So I think they're underrated. That's standard.
You think the Bills are going to be 13-3?
I think they have potential to be 13-3, but at least going to be 11-5.
I mean, how was their schedule? That's really the.
I mean, the Jet.
That's the biggest question is the schedule strength. Because
the Colts, depending on Philip Rivers, how he plays, if he could play really good, then they'd be underrated. So it really depends on him. The Steelers, I think they're rated just right. The offense still has a lot to prove right now, but we know the defense is. Everybody knows the defense is a top 5 defense. I think for the most part. Broncos, I think, are just right because people have them right in the middle of the pack, I think, generally. And I think that's right around where they are for now. There's still a little bit of rebuilding. They got Drew Lock now, so they're still in an experimental mode a little bit. Dolphins, I think they're just right, but they have potential to be underrated because they have a lot of young guys who we got to see how they're going to perform together. Texans, I agree, might be overrated this year. They still have offensive line problems. They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. And I don't know, the defense, it is what it is. I mean, they have Hargreaves at corner. They got some spots that they probably need to fix. And the Browns, I think, are going to be underrated this year. I think people are still calling them the Browns. I think they're still doubting Baker, even though he's been a 1 year on, 1 year off guy. But a lot of it was mental with Baker Mayfield last year, so I think he has a potential to have a really good bounce back year, and still found a way for Odell and Jarvis to get 1,000 yards. A trash year for Odell, 1,000 yards. So, Raiders, I think, could be underrated as well. They got a lot of young guys. Mayock and Gruden are just getting all their guys in there, so I think people are still underrating them. But I think they could potentially be a playoff team this year. They have a talented roster, I think. They're getting guys like Jonathan Abram, who they didn't have last year, back from injury. So I mean, he's going to be a really good, strong safety for them. The Jets, I don't even know what to think about the Jets right now. I mean, most people think I think just right is good for them. Jaguars just right. Bengals could be underrated. No, they still have a lot of holes. I'm going to go just right that they're still not a contender. I think the Chargers are underrated because they're always underrated because of their health. When that whole team is healthy, they click on all cylinders usually, no matter what Chargers team you're talking about. But we got to see what the quarterbacks do. So we're going to see. I think their defense is going to be phenomenal. Another top safety duo of mine, top 5 safety, Nasir Adderley and Derwin James. I think are going to be an electric defense safety duo. And they got some good corners. They just drafted Kenneth Murray, who was a great pick for them. They needed a big-time linebacker. They had some good role fillers at linebacker, but they needed that guy. And I think he's going to provide that. And they got the defensive line, of course. So I think they're definitely underrated. And that's my take.
Okay. Go ahead, Marcus.
Let's see here. I really think that the Patriots are underrated. I believe in Bill Belichick. I just do. I believe in Bill Belichick. I think he's the best coach, maybe in history, but definitely of this generation.
He's a cheater.
I think look, you can say he's a cheater. Look,
no, you're right. I agree with you. I agree with you that he is. I agree with you that he is of this generation. He's the best head coach, and you could argue that he's the GOAT of the head coaches in the NFL. Because of the.
I think it's hard. Look, I think it's harder to coach. I think it's harder to coach in this era because you have free agency. Back in the day, you could just keep your players. You put a team together, you keep them together forever. I think it's harder coaching nowadays because you have players cycle through like every few years. So the Bills, I think the Bills, I could see them winning that division. I have a few wagers on that. I mean, can they get out of their own way? You know, they have talent. Certainly, Stephon Diggs. You know, I make a lot of jokes and stuff about the Buffalo Bills, but they have a good team. I think definitely Miami's underrated. I think Miami I'm not saying that they will. I think they have a shot to win that division this year. I really do. With the additions that they've made on defense, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's definitely a possibility. And I think the Jets are just right. Look, I don't believe in Ryan Tannehill. I don't believe in Ryan. I think he had a flash in the pan season last season. I don't think that he's all that, but Derrick Henry, he's definitely a unicorn. I like that. What Phillip Rivers will show up with the Colts. I think they run the ball a lot with Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack. And I think that the Texans are overrated. I think the Texans definitely take a step back this year. Brandon Cooks he's not DeAndre Hopkins. And I think the Jags they're an up and coming team. I don't know about Gardner Minshew. I think the Ravens are just right. I think people are sleeping on the Steelers. I really do. And I'm not just saying this because my co-host will kill me if I don't say this. But I think Ben Roethlisberger, 80% Ben Roethlisberger is better than anything that they had last year. Duck Hodges is trash, and Mason Rudolph is trash. Ben Roethlisberger is a future first ballot Hall of Famer. I think getting him back changes the. You agree with that, Dennis?
I agree. You're a future first round Hall of Famer.
A future first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean,
100%.
I don't think we did a show this past week. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves from the media. I think the Browns, they got to prove something. We thought that they were going to be good last year. Everybody was talking about how good that the Browns are going to be, and they didn't do anything. I think the Bengals have too much. I think the Bengals have too many holes, but they are trending in the right direction. I think the Chiefs are just right. I think the Chiefs. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the Chiefs have the ability to be even better than they were last year because now you have a nice 1-2 punch. They thought Shady McCoy was going to come in there and kind of do things, but I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to
Clyde, baby.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. When you see the 1-2 punch of him and Damian Williams, I think they're going to be even more electric than last year. I think the Broncos are underrated. I think the Broncos are ready to take that step this year, going out and getting Jerry Jeudy, going out and getting KJ Hamler, bringing in Melvin Gordon to go with Philip Lindsay. They might have the best 1-2 punch at running back behind the Browns. And I think the Chargers are going to struggle mainly because of quarterback. I don't believe in Tyrod Taylor. He is what we think he is. He is what we think he is.
Okay.
You get no chance.
You played him in 3 quarters. Sorry.
He's the kind of guy. He's going to come out. He's a lot like Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's going to come out. He's going to look good for 2 or 3 games. People are going to get all hyped up, and then he's going to piss all over himself. So that's what I think. And I think the Raiders are I think the Raiders are on the right track. I think Mayock and Gruden are putting. Somebody had said it earlier. They're putting. They're getting their guys and putting this team together. He's got 8 years left on his contract. He ain't going nowhere, so he gets to build a team exactly the way he wants. So that's what I think about that.
Yeah.
Dennis?
No, I agree.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't realize we were going through every AFC team and saying what we think of them. I didn't. I wasn't sure exactly. Is that correct? Before I start going off,
you can do either that. I know I'm just gonna go to the teams that I don't feel like the rating is right to. You can go through every one of them. It's every one for you, man.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with Marcus on the Patriots. I can't knock Bill Belichick until he gets dethroned. And not really necessarily dethroned, but more so, I believe he can do it with anybody. Based off the experience that he has now. He's not the same head coach that he was when he was originally with the Browns. He has built something in New England that a lot of, not like hate in a bad way, a sports fan to kind of hate, we hate them because they win all the time type of way. And so, and the Bills could win that division, but I still think it's the Patriots to lose. And then Jets, I really don't see much coming from them, and I think that Miami is like the Browns of last year. We see a lot of potential, and we're excited for them, but at the same time, I feel like they're going to disappoint us. And moving on to Baltimore, they're solid. Lamar just needs to win a playoff game. He's got all the pieces, and Steelers, I agree with Marcus as well. They're underrated. Ben Roethlisberger doesn't get enough credit. He won, I believe it was that he won his Super Bowl. Either was it his rookie year or was it his second year that he won?
It was his second year.
It was his second year. So, for someone to do that, it's not something that you just you don't look the other way. That's something to be. You really look at them as a elite quarterback. Not that, obviously not at that point, but the potential of being at that point. And then Browns, I don't think we're really going to see much difference. I feel Baker Mayfield is a bust. Nobody would have agreed with me at the time, but I felt the Browns should have drafted Lamar Jackson. I just looked at his game tape, and that's how I felt. But that was the one crazy person probably that thought that. But Cincinnati, I don't see much change. Houston, overrated. I think that they feel like they lost when they picked up Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is not as good as DeAndre Hopkins. And then Tennessee's great. Just go through, and then Indianapolis has potential. Jacksonville, I don't really see much happening. Kansas City is Kansas City. And then Oakland, I guess now it's Las Vegas. They have potential, but I just have questions on Gruden, and we'll see what happens. I just feel like with Hard Knocks, Chargers, I don't see anything really, and then Denver, we'll see what happens. There's potential, but whoever wants to go now. Mm-hmm.
Dennis, go ahead.
With these ratings, I feel as though the Patriots are going to win that division. So that is what it is. The Titans should win the division, even though they're considered overrated, which I don't think they should be just right. But I feel as though the Texans are either coming in second or they're going to be first. That's just in my eyes. Everybody's, they lost DeAndre Hopkins, but, I'm not saying Cooks is DeAndre Hopkins, but they also did go get Randall Cobb too. So now they have an offense that can spread the floor. I kind of see something good happening with the Texans this year. To me, it's just about their defense. That's my whole big thing, their defense.
Their offensive line?
Their offensive line is pretty souped up. They went and got an offensive line. Okay. They're actually pretty good. I don't like the running back that they got, but to me, I think they'll be good. The Steelers defensively is going to win them a lot of games. Offensively, I don't see it happening. I don't see that. They'll be third best in that division. I said it here first. They'll be third best in that division. I think Kansas City takes a step back this year. They still win the division, but they take a step back because people are going to start picking on that defense heavy this season. They're going to pick on them heavy. Don't be surprised if the Broncos beat them twice. That's all I'm going to say.
See, there you go with that ignorant thinking already. This ain't the ignorant thinking right now.
Don't be surprised. The Broncos got a nice, young, talented wide receiver core. Don't be surprised the Broncos beat them twice.
Marcus, he been on that ignorant thinking stuff. As soon as he said the Patriots was winning the division, you see right here, hold on. Right here, see all that white right here? That's up in the great northeast, right around where they make all the Philly cheesesteaks. It's a whole lot of precipitation right here, folks. It's called hatred.
All right. So let me go ahead and give mine real quick. I'm going to do what Dennis did. I'm just going to go by who I think is going to win the division. And if I feel like anything else is in, hey, I'll change it. Dennis, I'm actually going to agree with you. I think the Patriots are going to win the division. So I think they're underrated.
Cincinnati is right in that area too, right here. Folks.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine and dandy. But I think the Patriots are going to win the division. They have the best coach in that division. They have the best quarterback. No matter if he hasn't thrown the ball in 2 seasons or not, they have the best quarterback in that division. They're going to win the division. That's as simple as that.
He did throw the ball last season.
He did for 2 games, but it's not that much. But hey, it's okay.
He's playing injured too. So.
I know what I'm saying. He's going to be the best quarterback in that division still. So expect Cam Newton to be Cam Newton again. So I got the Patriots winning that division. The next division, I actually have the Texans winning that division. So I do think the Titans are a little bit overrated. I don't have trust in Ryan Tannehill. That's the reason why, though. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is a good QB. That's just as simple as that. He's a game manager, though. He reminds me of Alex Smith, to be honest with you. He's not going to win you a game. He's not going to lose you a game. That's as simple as that. So I think the Titans aren't going to win that division this year. I think the Texans, they improved a lot on their offense. They lost DeAndre Hopkins. It's going to hurt. But they did get another wide receiver who can get them 1,000 yards. They got another wide receiver, Randall Cobb, who's going to spread the field out for them. Then you still have J.J. Watt if he stays healthy on the defense. You have pieces on the defense with the cornerbacks and everything. I think the Texans are going to win that division. You got for the AFC North, I got the Ravens winning that division again. What I will say, though, is that I do think the Steelers are underrated. Hopefully Big Ben comes back and isn't throwing 30 or 20 interceptions like he did the season before that, where he looked bad. Hopefully we get a Big Ben that looks good, which I think they will. And I think that offense is going to flourish now because they actually have a quarterback because Duck Hodges was bad. So was the quarterback that got hit in the head. I don't remember what his name is, but
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, Mason. There you go.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah, from Oklahoma State. My boy Mason Rudolph. I do think the Bengals are underrated. I think they improved a lot on their team. They got a better quarterback. They got an offensive line.
That was a biased answer.
It's not a biased answer. It's not a biased answer. Just look at the free agents. Look at the draft they did. It's not a biased answer. They got
6 wins. Mm-hmm.
No, I got them actually winning 8. That's underrated to me because everybody has them winning 4 or 6. I got them winning 8.
I don't even believe they're going to win 6. I'm just saying that.
All I'm saying is, if you look at their from free agent acquisitions, you look at their from the draft, they actually improved their team a lot. It's not by little, a lot. Their main problem when Andy Dalton was there was their offensive line, was getting him killed. Like literally, once they lost Andrew Whitworth and they lost Joel Bettina, their offensive line just got worse.
Go ahead and talk about that QB, Chad.
I mean, you lose 2 big pieces. I don't care about the QB. Andy Dalton could excel with this team that they have right now. If AJ Green's healthy, you got the guy from Cleveland. I can't think of his name right now. You got John Ross still, and you got Tyler Boyd. T. Higgins, and you got Tyler Boyd, and you got Joe Mixon, and then you got the guy from Alabama coming back. Can't think of his name right now. Left tackle. You just picked up another offensive lineman. You should be perfect on the offense. Yeah, Jonah Williams. You should be perfect on the offense, and then you improved your defense. You still got one of the best defensive tackles in the league in Geno Atkins. You still got Carlos Dunlap who can rush the edge. Still, you got Sam Hubbard who had 10 sacks last season. I mean, what are we talking? Like, look, what are we talking about here? The Bengals got way better. They're underrated.
Okay.
I know you didn't mention your boy Sam Hubbard, but not my quarterback.
Like I said, Andy Dalton could be good again with that team that they have. I mean, it's no offense to Joe Burrow or anything, but he can be good. Like anybody, if you have that team that they have a good roster over there. You can be good with it. That's just a simple.
I'm convinced you don't like Joe.
No, I do like Joe. He's from Ohio. I mean, that's just as simple as that.
I don't like Joe.
I don't like Joe. Success.
Hey,
he could have a success there, but I'm just saying he's from Ohio. But
hey, can we read the comments?
Yeah, let me finish AFC West. Yes, sir, we sure can. With the AFC West, I do think the Chiefs are going to win. I think they're going to be better this year. I don't think my Broncos are overrated. I think they're just right where exactly where they should be. I think they'll win 8 or 9 games. I think the Raiders are just right because people are saying they're going to win 7 to 8 games to 9. I think they're just right also. The Chargers are overrated. I always hear when they're healthy, they're good. When they're healthy, they're never healthy. So why does that even matter? Like, they're never healthy. So that makes you overrated in general right there. They have not been healthy, have not been a healthy team for 3 years now.
That's what people say when they're healthy.
Like that's not a good thing to say. I have to say that about literally every single player because every single player in that defense, Aaron James has been hurt. Joey Bosa has been hurt. All their top players, Melvin Ingram has been hurt. Like literally all their top players have been hurt. Mike Williams has been hurt. Keenan Allen has been hurt. Like that's your top players right there, and they all have been hurt. No, they're overrated. Andre, go ahead and read the comments for me. Drake.
He just called me Andre Gordon as if like I'm Batman's.
I said Dre. I said Andre, go ahead and read the comments. And I said Dre. Now, if I called you Andre Gordon, then that's a compliment.
I'm like, what is that?
I just want to get up. But before you read the comments, I just want to rebut my man George here. Now, you just said they're always hurt. Okay, you're saying all their top players are always hurt. How many games has AJ Green played in the past 3 years?
Oh my God!
Because you were just boosting them up about that. How many games has AJ Green played in the past 3 years?
Hold on.
One. I'm kidding.
I get you and I understand it, but once again, this is why I named 3 other wide receivers on their team. This is why I named the Tyler Boyd, a John Ross, and a T. Higgins.
How many games those players played? How many games has Tyler Eifert played?
No one said Tyler Eifert. I don't care about Tyler Eifert. He's not even on that team no more. That's why I said a Tyler Boyd, who's played every single game these last couple of years, who has had 2,000-yard seasons. A John Ross, who was balling at the beginning of the season with Andy Dalton, a guy who doesn't have injuries anymore. He does have injuries, but he was playing all last year, except for two games. So what I'm telling you is, I get what you're saying. I understand. But I wasn't talking about AJ Green. I named other people. And then they still have a top 5 to top 10 running back in Joe Mixon.
That's wide receiver on the Bengals.
I mean, one could say Tyler Boyd is now. I mean, he's healthy.
I don't think anybody would say that.
John Ross played 8 games last year.
No, he's healthy, right? He's healthy, right? You always say your best availability is your best availability.
The year before.
Hold on, Jared. I don't care about that right now. You always say that your best ability is availability, right? So Tyler Boyd is available every single season. He's getting 1,000 yards. He can be your best player then, correct?
That's why they paid him the big bucks.
So with that being said, Tyler Boyd is their best wide receiver right now. Until AJ Green hits that field again and actually shows me he can play, Tyler Boyd is their best wide receiver. Dre, let's read the comments.
All right, you know what it is, man. If you don't know, now you know. This is the Monday Night Madness.
Did he
The
switch
ball-
hats? Did he switch to a Buffalo hat after I said Buffalo wasn't going to win the division?
No,
Probably.
yeah, absolutely. I been did that 15 minutes ago. But yes, I did switch up the hat flow. For sure. Let me read these comments. Let me get to them, folks. I see Dalton Smith said, I agree with Ramona. John Ross is getting cut. Ramona said Ross traded or cut. Gendrick said Chargers mostly a wide receiver. Ernest Olive said take notes on Bengals. Book it. These are overrated for Raiders because of Gruden. Ooh. Patriots just right until I see Cam in action. Titans just right. Baltimore just right. Jackson had an offensive year in passing. Kansas City just right. Bills underrated with the moves they made. The Colts underrated. He said the Steelers way underrated, but y'all will see. Broncos overrated. Dolphins underrated. Texans just right. Browns just right. Raiders just right. Jets overrated. Jags just right. Bengals just right. Chargers just right. Ooh. Sharon said, but D-Wick is still the Bengals. Bengals should win on paper, said Deidre. All right. So those are the comments I got right now, and we'll get to some more shortly.
All right, next topic, real quick. Most overrated player of all time at each position. I'm going to name the players, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So at quarterback, they have Mike Vick. Running back, they have Bo Jackson. Receiver, they have Julian Edelman. Tight end, they have Mike Ditka. At D-line, they have Warren Sapp. Linebacker, Clay Matthews. Cornerback, Ty Law. Safety, Cam Chancellor. Dre.
Let
me go with somebody else first. Let me go with you first. Dennis, what you think of the list?
I think this list is totally disrespectful. How the hell are you overrated? One defensive player of the year, and you're in the Hall of Fame. You're first ballot Hall of Famer. At what point are you overrated? What else do you got to do? I'm trying to figure out. Like when he got drafted, he was looked over. Like they went past him. My team picked Mike Mamula. What in the blue hell? Who made this list?
He made the list. You know that, Dennis.
Like, I'm trying to figure this out. How is Michael Vick overrated?
Yeah,
tell me what super team he had. Well, besides that one they made up.
The Eagles?
Tell me what real super team he had. All right. This man took the Atlanta Falcons to the NFC Championship game and still ain't really have a number one wide receiver.
Who in the blue hell is Mike Manula? Who in the blue hell is this guy?
That's what I'm trying
to combine guy.
Who in the blue hell is Mike? I mean, I try to tell one of my guys that's on here, like he's so hype about a guy with the initials of MB that now plays for the Jets, but I ain't gonna say his name. You know, just because you shine in the combine don't mean you know how to play football. Hey, there's gonna be a lot of guys that ain't gonna be able to show up because ain't no preseason.
He's a unicorn. You better give him this respect.
Hold on.
Ty Law is another one. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm about to say. So, who do you agree? Do you agree with anybody on this list? Do you agree with anybody on this list?
No, you crazy.
Nobody on this list is over. Julian Edelman used to be a quarterback.
You don't agree with anybody on this list?
Well, he was
one. I think that could be.
He was the PED MVP of 2018 Super Bowl, but you know,
there's only two I think that could be, like even a start to have a debate would be Edelman and Cam Chancellor. Just because Edelman played with Brady for so long and Belichick and the situation. And then Cam Chancellor, I feel like he was such a good hitter that a lot of his flaws were masked.
Yeah.
But I think he is a great safety. I think he's still a great safety. But
Cam Chancellor is what the Cowboys thought that Roy Williams was going to be.
Right. That's what I thought. Though Cam Chancellor was Roy Williams all the way.
Hitting safety. You got people in the comment section saying Mike Vick was overrated.
That's Sharon. Ain't nobody but Sharon said that. That's Sharon. Nobody but Sharon. She swears he's overrated. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Vick just didn't have the receivers that could catch that cannon arm. Julian Edelman and Ty Law are underrated. Listen, this is disrespectful. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's disrespectful. The only one I can see on here that might be overrated at their position is, no offense, Mike Ditka. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Only one I can
I'm
see on here.
confused
That
because y'all
might be,
keep saying that's the only person which y'all are not seeing that Bo Jackson is probably the most overrated player to play in the NFL.
Are you looking for a fight?
Are you serious?
Right.
You're looking for a fight.
No, I
Hold
No, I kind of agree, though.
on. Can I explain? Can I explain?
I know his longevity has to do with him. Go ahead.
Can I explain?
The myths ran rampant. That's all
Can
I
I
can say.
explain? This guy has never cracked over 1,000 yards. This guy has never had a double-digit touchdown season. This guy has never had over 4 touchdowns in the season. And he's only played 4 seasons. Yes, he's overrated. Yeah, he's overrated.
He's the tech mobile MVP.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing that you
can't even
can say
say
about
it.
this guy.
Time out. Are we also talking about the same guy that played baseball?
No, we're talking about football. I don't care about the baseball part. I don't care about how good of an athlete he is. I don't care about that.
You know he split carries with Marcus Allen, right?
Oh, Marcus Allen was gone. Marcus Allen was gone for 1 or 2 of the seasons because guess what? The Raiders decided to trade Marcus Allen because they thought Bo Jackson was the god. But guess what?
Can't believe
he was injury prone. No, he was injury prone.
It was an injury.
The only guy that I could really sit here and say that I thought was overrated was Clay Matthews.
Disrespectful.
That's the
He
only
was a great pass
reason,
rusher for a lot of years.
I felt like you said that because you wanted my reaction. Really?
It might have been that might have been 10% of it, but the other 90% was I really just feel like that all he did was rush the passer.
Well, let me ask you this question.
And that's all he did at a linebacker's position. If he was a defensive end, I wouldn't say nothing if he was defensive end.
What is 10% volume in alcohol? Still alcohol, damn it. Don't even try that. Don't try that, Bess. You
Okay,
really?
well, I may have came to piss on your flame. Hey, that's just
real quick, because Ramona Ernest are talking about me in the comments. Real quick, let me say this: Eddie Lacy's better than had a better career than Bo Jackson. That's all. Rest my piece right there.
So George,
Did
my
Beanie
question
Wells?
George, you better stop it. You better stop.
He had a better career than that. Eddie Lacy's had a better career. He had a better career than Bo Jackson. That's a fact.
I feel like you don't really feel this way. I feel like you just you feel like
what do you
I
mean?
don't think that's disrespectful. I'm just saying
the truth.
I understand. I no. I don't think.
It's not. I mean, it's not that I don't feel this way. It's the truth. Like he's had a better.
You could talk about him being overrated because of how much hype he got because of a lot of myths and all that.
Tell you what, we about to get a phone call.
I'm just
all right.
I mean,
since everybody, because you missed me on the last 2, I'm going to ask you a question, George. I'm going to ask you a question, George.
Go ahead.
If he was on the Denver Broncos, would he be overrated?
Yes, he's overrated. Well, like that, I don't care about if he's on my team or not. Like, if you only your best season is 950 yards for 5 touchdowns, you're overrated. I think Melvin Gordon's overrated because he's only had 1,000 yards rushing season.
Yeah, but Bo Jackson was a superhuman. Like
what are we talking about here, guys? And yes, I said that Eddie Lacy has had a better career. Guess what? In his first 2 years, he had 1,000 yards.
No,
he had over 10 touchdowns in the season.
Clay was great at pass rush, but
he had a lot of touchdowns one year actually
because he was chasing the cheeseburgers, not actually running the football.
He wasn't a linebacker. He was a DN.
Eddie Lacy was the offensive rookie of the year.
Hold on, watch this. We got a call. Y'all might want to listen to this.
I got one question real quick.
What's up, Paul?
Hold on. Can't hear.
How could you possibly say Bo Jackson is overrated?
Thank you, Ramona. Thank you.
Y'all got to mute your mic so we can hear Ramona.
Turn it up, Dre. I can't even hear.
Hold on, I'm trying to. Let me turn this up real quick. I'm gonna try to turn this up, as much as possible. Go ahead, Ramona.
All right. How in the world could you possibly say that Bo Jackson is overrated? Oh man, you didn't get to watch this guy play. Chadwick George, this is for you. Dude, you didn't get to watch him play. You didn't watch Bo Jackson play. I don't care. You know, we made a comment months ago about stats and how stats are like bikini. You know, what they reveal is important, but what they hide is essential.
Ooh.
and you want to sit and name stats and talk about a player you never got to watch play football. Oh,
I hate when people say that. Like, that is the worst excuse for that is. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that is the worst excuse for you to say that somebody's not overrated or underrated. I respect you, but that is the worst excuse saying that somebody that can't watch when we have a day. When we're living in an age of YouTube where you can watch full games, full seasons, literally you can watch all that, and then you say you haven't watched him play. Yes, I have watched him play in college and in the NFL. Yes, I have. So that's a bad excuse.
But how much tape?
What I would like to do, since this list is up here, can we replace these guys and put the guys at their position that really should be in here? Can we do that?
As long as you put Jackson there, I'm okay with it.
So I just want to say something real quick. Dennis, have you seen Clay Matthews' stats?
Yeah.
Oh, because I don't live on stats. I live on watching game tape.
Nah, I want you to watch game tape. Have you ever?
Yeah, I live on watching game tape. I never said nothing bad about Clay Matthews as a pass rusher. I said Clay Matthews should have been a DN, not a linebacker.
Because he was a pass rusher.
It says that he's a linebacker. So as a linebacker, I said he was overrated.
That would be like saying Lorenzo Alexander or Jerry Hughes.
No. We're not going to use them. Let's use some players that's actually really good. We're not using no bum ass skills players. Well, we're not going to use any bum ass skills player. We're going to use guys. Wait. Listen what I'm saying. We're going to use guys.
God.
So Lorenzo's going to Hall of Fame?
Lorenzo Alexander don't got it. Hold on, time out.
I asked you a question. Don't ask me another question. Answer my question. Is Lorenzo Alexander going to Hall of Fame?
No, he ain't going to the Hall of Fame.
We don't need to be talking about it. Let's talk about guys that's going to Hall of Fame. Let's talk about guys going to Hall of Fame.
That's absolutely bogus, though. That doesn't take away from what Lorenzo Alexander is.
But Matthews doesn't have a ticket to the Hall of Fame anyway.
We're talking about. I'm trying to make a good comparison. You're naming
terrible. It's a terrible.
Do you think Clay Matthews is automatically a lock for the Hall of Fame?
No.
No.
So then how are you making that comparison to Hall of Fame?
You didn't let me compare the player. Wait a minute. You never let me compare the player.
You're saying he has to bring a Hall of Fame caliber player to compare to a maybe not Hall of Fame caliber player.
Right now, Dennis, I've watched Clay Matthews myself. He's a sideline person, first and foremost. If you have not watched, if you watched his first 5 years,
I've seen his first 5 years. I've seen him kill my Eagles. I've watched Clay Matthews.
So why are you saying that he's only
as a defensive end? Clay
I
Matthews,
agree with Dennis.
I said as a defensive end, Clay Matthews would be a Hall of Fame player. As a linebacker, Clay Matthews would be considered overrated.
I agree with that because
that's all I said.
That's true.
Okay, watch this, John. Why you disagree with that? Who was your linebacker? Who's your linebacker? Wait a minute! Ain't you the same team that took him?
Yeah, I agree with. But I saw what happened this season. Are you let me speak? Or are you just gonna Yeah.
Go ahead and talk.
I appreciate. I would like to be respected in this. I'm just fucking with you. Sorry, I'm just swearing. But no. Okay, so based off, I've seen Clay Matthews' Packer tape, and I've seen his, and I know that Dre knows what I'm about to say because it's all over my room. You can see it in the corner behind me. But I mean that defense wasn't what they were the year before, so I can't really blame Clay Matthews as a whole. But I can see where Dennis is coming from when he would have been a better edge rusher. Not only the way the Rams used him, that was the point of the signing for Clay Matthews was for him to be an edge rusher, and because of the amount of sacks that he had, he would have been better positioned to be an edge rusher as a Packer, and maybe they would have won more than one Super Bowl if he was an edge rusher.
See, watch this.
Clay Matthews Jr. is a 3-4 outside linebacker, guys. He's a 3-4 outside linebacker. That's like
I know that.
The Rams defense was 3-4.
How many people in history have ever revered Clay Matthews as anything but a pass rusher?
That's just like right now trying to make T.J. Watt a defensive end. He's too small. Clay Matthews Jr. is too small.
Is he too small because that's what the Cowboys said, and that's why you took Taco Carlton?
Shots fired.
Hold on, but watch this.
We didn't need a 3-4. We didn't need a 3-4 outside linebacker. We needed a 4-3 defensive end.
The craziest thing I just heard you say. How big is TJ Watt? How big is TJ Watt?
He's not.
Because he looked about the same size as Nick Bosa to me.
No, he's not.
What is it? A 10-pound difference?
235. A 235-pound defensive end. A 235-pound defensive end. A 235-pound 4-3 defensive end. He would get swallowed up. Plain and simple.
Here's my only thing. I didn't even mention it. I didn't even tell you that I'm.
Yeah, who's eating potato chips, man? Come on, man.
Hey, John, you got to mute your mic, John.
Yeah, my bad.
All right, so I didn't even tell you that I really think Lorenzo Alexander is better all around than Clay Matthews. I didn't even tell you that. I didn't get to that point yet. Clay Matthews.
Oh, I'm not the disrespectful one on here. Never mind. All right.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Clay Matthews, just like Marcus said, is a 3-4 outside linebacker. He played his position. Green Bay needed him to pass rush. But I can tell you right now that Clay Matthews allowed him to catch running backs whenever he needed to. I'm
sorry. Hold on, Dre. I'm sorry. TJ Watt is 252 pounds. What are we talking about, Marcus?
That's not a defensive
end. That's what I'm saying. What is not a defensive? Wait, time out, Marcus.
Fact check, he is 252 pounds.
You just said he was 235. Now he's 252. And he's still a defensive end. This guy was running off for defensive player of the year.
When he came into the league, he was at the combine. Trust me, I watched it because
he did come in because he was a linebacker in college, like a straight up linebacker.
He was a little guy, and that's what they looked at. Just like right now, the kid that they picked up from Utah, he's not that big. Bradley Anae. Most of these 4-3 defensive ends are about 265, 270 because you're on the defensive line. You put a guy on the defensive line at 245 pounds, playing 4-3 defensive end. He's going against a left tackle that's 320 pounds. He's going to get his butt kicked every play. He's a 3-4 outside line. He's a 3-4 outside linebacker. It's the same reason that Vic Beasley has kind of flamed out because he's a little guy. He's a little dude, and you're telling him to go in there and pass rush and go against a left tackle. It's not going to end well.
Wait, not only does that happen, it hurts the run defense too. Being a 3-4.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next topic after this. Who said that? You said TJ Watt was smaller in his combine. He was 252 in his combine. I remember. He was 252 when he came in.
Listen, even 250 pounds for a 4-3 defensive end is small. That's small. Guys like you look at a guy. Look at a guy. Hang on. As compared to other 4-3 defensive ends, like for instance, we're talking about prototypical guys. So let's say Myles Garrett. Now look how much Myles Garrett weighs as compared to TJ Watt. Because he's a 4-3 defensive end. You have a difference between a 4-3 defensive end and a 3-4 outside linebacker. That's why they make them linebackers, because they're too small. Even 250 pounds playing defensive end, 4-3 defensive end, that's too small.
Here's the facts. An ideal 4-3 defensive end usually is athletic, agility, and their strength is getting up the field quickly. They usually weigh between 265 and 295.
Thank you.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Dre.
Guys, I'm gonna need some of y'all to come to the Alphabets football show. Don't worry, I'm here for you. I'm here for
yes,
you.
265 to 290. Marcus Golden is 260. Marcus Golden is 260, and he had 10.5 sacks last year.
And he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. 3-4.
But he's still pass rushing. He's still pass rushing.
One at a time.
Do you not know the defense that the New York Giants were? Y'all ran a 3-4, okay?
No kidding.
Okay, well, I'm trying to enlighten you.
I don't know my own team.
Marcus Golden is a 3-4 outside linebacker. He's not a 4.
Ideal 4-3. We just
But
said it.
he's still on the edge rushing the passer.
Oh, that doesn't
Point.
matter.
You think that you hang on? Let me ask you this, Rick.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
what I'm
It's
hearing
not
to
the
happen.
same. That's not the same, Rick.
It's not the same.
That's what I was saying about this. This is the reason why I said this about Clay Matthews, because Clay Matthews is on the edge rushing.
Mm-hmm.
I used to call this position a cheating position because these guys were already fast as hell, and the left tackles had to hurt them get out. They had to be good at getting out their stance to catch up to these guys. I used to call that a cheating position back in the day, but now these tackles are now more athletic to get up to them.
And here's the thing, though. The only reason why I
You let a guy like Jason Peters. You let a guy like Jason Peters get his hands. You let him get his hands on a guy who's 250 pounds. Let Tyron Smith get his hands. Let him get his hands on a guy who's 250 pounds, and he weighs about 325. There's levels to this, guys. I'm trying to enlighten you. That's why you got these guys like Myles Garrett, who just got a big fat contract because he's damn near probably about 290.
He's 277.
272, 280. That's not the same as 250. He got about 30 more pounds than TJ Watt.
Joey Bosa was, I think, 262.
All right, let me say this other thing too. The only reason there's another reason why I give Clay Matthews his props. I think we all forget that Green Bay didn't just play 4-3 the whole time he was there. I mean 3-4 the whole time he was there. He also switched and played 4-3.
Mm-hmm. That's what they usually do when they start at a 4-3. But
Clay Matthews still was doing his thing even when the defensive system switched.
So you're saying it was
Dom Capers?
I honestly want to say Clay Matthews' success took a turn once B.J. Raji retired.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very true statement.
I would actually say that.
You know what else helped them
give you that statement.
What else helped them too was having Julius Peppers on the other side of them.
Yeah, that was later though. That was after they won the Super Bowl.
I'm saying though, when you got a guy on the other side,
Charles Woodson.
When Charles Woodson and Al Harris was there.
Yeah.
Did Al Harris win the Super Bowl with y'all or no?
I think so.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Charles Woodson
Punching dudes at the 1 yard line of scrimmage.
Yeah, no, I remember now.
Hey, all right. Hey, let's move on to the next topic, fellas. Audrey, how much time do we have left, too?
We have exactly. I'm gonna give you the time right now.
So we got to end at least 5 minutes early just to say goodbyes and all, you know.
My bad about not muting the mic. Sorry about that, guys.
You good, man?
120. We got 30 minutes.
My chin. Oh.
All right.
Actually, we got 20 minutes because this got to go on the network.
That's fine. And then we're gonna switch up a little because we still have our last argument to do. Because Andre, you're not getting out of it. You're not getting out of it. Don't worry.
I don't need to get out of it. I'm ready.
He enjoys
Okay.
the argument.
But my question was,
Yes.
AJ, was he even the best linebacker on the Packers?
Mm-mm.
What are you talking about? When are you talking about?
All time, I think, right?
His whole career, was he the best linebacker on the Packers?
You're saying his
Yeah.
team? Or you saying
While he was on the
overall was he
team.
the best?
I said on the
Okay.
Packers.
Yeah,
No, you
he
said-
was
yeah,
better. He was better than
I don't
AJ Hawk.
remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Blake Martinez?
Blake Martinez just got there after he
Just got
left.
there.
Like, that don't even count. Are you going? What the hell?
No doubt Clay Matthews was the best linebacker on that team. That's not even a question.
Hey, Dre, read some comments.
We'll just let you think that. All right.
We don't even talk about AJ Hawk really anymore.
Watching the Mets game, it was a great game. That's what's up. Chuck Thomas is in the house. Ramona said, I would say one last thing. Get out of your tunnel vision on your own teams and give credit where credit is due. Without Bo Jackson on the team when he was playing, they do not have the success that they had when he was on the team. Sharon said, that's true, Ramona. She also said, I think the Patriots are underrated because everybody assumes Brady was the only reason they won. Diedrich said it was more of a quarterback receiving core. No Brady, no Gronk too. That's why I said they're underrated. People forget who their coach is. Bucks not winning over 4 games over the first 10 games. Whoa.
That's a bold statement. Yes.
Ooh.
Can y'all see what that says right there?
Disrespect to Tampa Bay.
Can y'all see what that says right there on my screen?
Empress Arians.
What does it say?
Can you see that, George?
I see it's something written, but what does it say?
236.
That's how much he weighed at the combine. Just saying.
Oh no, the NFL.com had him at 252. I don't know. That's two different statements I done seen. So I'm gonna go NFL.com. I'm gonna go NFL.com, Marcus. I gotta go NFL.com.
Hey, let me
Even
ask you a question.
250s.
Do y'all disagree with these quarterbacks?
Who's scared? Not me.
Y'all disagree with these quarterbacks at all?
Let's see.
Nope.
Nope.
I'll take Tom Brady over.
I'm sorry to see what you're talking about.
I'll take Tom Brady in the NFC South.
Never.
Over Drew Brees?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
You would
That's
take
all he
who?
changed. He said he'll take two over Drew Brees.
I'll take Tom Brady over Drew Brees in the NFC South.
Not doing it.
No, I'll keep Drew Brees there. Only thing that I'm disagreeing with is the NFC East. Carson Wentz is better than Dak Prescott.
Stop it.
He is.
Stop.
I'm not gonna.
He is.
I'm gonna have to say this. Dak Prescott played pretty good last season. He had.
I'm giving it to Dak Prescott.
Here's all I'm gonna say: if you give Dak Prescott that team that Carson Wentz had, I bet he only wins 6 games.
Yeah, but this goes back to your argument about Bo Jackson, and he's injury prone, and Carson Wentz is injury prone.
I got you, and I get
you're
you.
saying that. So if we're having that same argument, then
I get you.
You get what I'm saying? So,
I get you. Here's my only rebuttal to that.
John, hold up. Hold up. Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, and Jared Goff came on the same year. Who's the worst quarterback?
Jared Goff is the worst quarterback. Everyone knows that. But he's the only one who's actually played in a Super Bowl. So
I get,
and look, hold on. Here's my only rebuttal to that.
He only put up 3 points. That ain't nothing to brag about.
Hold on real quick, though. Here's my.
He didn't put up 3 points. It was the kicker. What are you talking about?
Hold on. Here's my only rebuttal to that. What you said about the injury thing. I get it. He's injury prone. We all know this. We understand. He's injury prone still. But if you put Prescott, I'm gonna keep saying this, on that Eagles team last year, he doesn't go to the playoffs like he didn't go with the Cowboys team right now. He doesn't win more than 8 games. He doesn't win 6, honestly. I'm talking about on that Eagles team. He doesn't. He truly doesn't.
Who's a better coach, Doug Peterson or Jason Garrett? Answer that for me.
Doug Peterson is one of the top 5 coaches in the
Well,
world.
actually,
you don't think that coaching has a factor in any of that?
It does have a factor with Marcus. At the end of the day, when you have talent, though, you should still be able to beat you should still be able to beat Nelson Aguilar, who was their best wide receiver with running back. When you have Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, you always gloat about your 2,000-yard receivers, and Amari Cooper and Mr. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now.
Michael Gallup.
Yeah, Michael Gallup. And you have one of the best left tackles in the game, and one of the best centers,
and one of the best guards. Okay, hang on. And when you're playing the Buffalo Bills, and Ezekiel Elliott has 80 yards in the first half, and your stupid coach starts telling you to throw the ball, that's not coaching.
No, and I get that, but what we're talking about is here. If you put Dak Prescott on that Eagles team, I don't care about the game. You put Dak Prescott on the Eagles team. Are you telling me that he's going to win? He's going to win 8 games?
Hell no.
Who your coach is definitely matters. When you have a coach making idiot decisions, do you think Bill Belichick, if he was coaching the Seattle Seahawks, is going to throw the ball on the 1-yard line or hand the ball to Marshawn?
We all know Jason Garrett's a joke. Okay.
I'm asking you a question.
So obviously he's gonna run the ball, and I agree with you. But what you're still like, you're not understanding. I get all of that, but once again, when you have the talent on your team, you can't even. Once again, it's not all Jason Garrett's fault. It was Dak Prescott too, because he played like crap in the first.
No, for sure. You can't blame the coach.
He played like crap most of the time in the first 2 quarters, and that's no denying that. And he'd do real good in the fourth quarter when the game doesn't matter. There's no way you can blame that on the coach. You put the blame. You can't blame that on the coach all the time. It's
That's
Dak
true.
Prescott's fault too.
You don't think that Mike McCarthy's an upgrade over
It is
Jason?
definitely upgrade. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, he's an upgrade over.
No,
Mike.
I don't think it's an upgrade.
No, he's an
No.
upgrade in the sense of Jason. Okay, in Jason. Okay,
Or Green Bay.
so he has more pedigree than Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy, because he has a Super Bowl. Okay, so so in that way he's an upgrade.
I would hope he got one out of Aaron Rodgers. He should have got more.
But
Thank you.
I also want to go back to what Dennis said. I'm going to retract.
Never liked Mike McCarthy.
No, I wasn't a fan either. Jared Goff wasn't the worst quarterback in that draft. I'm going to retract that. If you look at statistics,
Wait, we talk about statistics. You had to go to statistics, huh? You ain't want nobody to see the game. You want to just point out some numbers, huh?
I'm just
What you about to talk about Jared Goff? He got paid well? That's what you gonna say?
he shouldn't have got paid that money, but that's not the point. He went to the Super Bowl. They're going to pay him that money, and I wasn't happy with it when I saw that he got paid that amount. Got to give credit where credit is due. I know it was the team as a whole, but he's the team leading. He's the one who beat. And you can say the no call you want, but I was at that game, and there was a face mask on Jared Goff before, and he would have scored, and they would have been up. They would have won the game anyway. So
What game you talking about?
Okay, so the NFC Championship game of 2018, you could say he outplayed Drew Brees in that game.
Oh, yeah, that's not hard to outplay Drew Brees. Hell, Drew Brees don't show up in big games. That's not hard.
And so, no, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like, if you all play Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer. And hands down. And so, but you're going to say that Dak Prescott, who hasn't won a playoff game, is better than Jared Goff. I can argue that Carson Wentz is better than Jared Goff, based off the year he should have been playing in the Super Bowl instead of Nick Foles. I wanted the Rams to draft.
I can argue that Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in that draft. Okay.
Well, then
I can make that argument, and it'd be the winning argument. Jared Goff.
And I can rebuttal you and say that he is not the best quarterback, because once again, you take his weapons away, just like how Carson Wentz had no wide receivers. You take his wide receivers away, he goes negative in his record column until they get Amari Cooper. Are we forgetting?
Again, he had the worst coaching.
Are we forgetting about that too?
The worst coach. Okay, the worst coach, and also out of all those teams, between the Rams and the Eagles, who had the worst defense out of those three?
Are we acting like that y'all wasn't hyping up this defense before the year started?
Hyping up the defense.
Hyping up the defense now for the year started. What are you talking about?
They lost to the Jets.
Dak Prescott.
Your defense is the only reason you guys beat the Saints. So I don't know why you would be arguing.
All right, so hold on. So hold on. I hate that y'all keep bringing up the coach, but when the Bills fans keep trying to bring up their offensive coordinator, you guys try to stop that and hope that immediately.
Because offensive coordinator.
The offensive coordinator calls the plays, just like Jason Garrett calls the plays on that team. So the offensive coordinator calls the plays on the Bills. So you guys need to give that excuse to Bills too, then, if that's the case. As far as I see it,
I don't give no excuses to the Bills.
I've said it previously.
No. I'm not letting him off that easy. My issue with that is Josh Allen's decision making and his ball security.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I don't like the play calling either.
When he's sitting up there throwing the ball 10 feet over people's head or throwing it behind them or trying to make a lateral while three people are standing there next to him.
Marcus, do we have to have this conversation?
Yeah. If he's going to bring it up.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have this conversation one last time. I'm going to say this real quick. Josh Allen doesn't even get involved in plays like that if Brian Daboll makes the correct play calls during the game. Stop it. The second half of that game where he was doing that crap, it's because Brian Daboll was calling terrible plays in the second half. You have a running back who averaged 5.2 yards per carry, and the team you playing against couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Okay, and what does that have to do? And what does that have to do with Josh Allen having a 58.2% pass completion rate?
It has everything to do with it, because I'm gonna tell you why. Watch this. Well, I'll say Josh Allen is part responsible, but Brian Daboll.
I would say so.
Right? Yes, but Brian Daboll is part responsible as well, because a lot of those games, that they lost last year was because Brian Dabble lost his way with the play calling. They do not lose to Cleveland if they run the goddamn football against Cleveland. Stop it.
And the Bills don't beat.
Let me say this real quick.
And the Bills don't beat the Cowboys if the Cowboys keep running the football like when Zeke had 80 yards in the first half.
I give you that. Here's the thing, Marcus. I would give you that. I would totally give you that. Only if Dak did not freaking have a terrible. He had a terrible game that game. Let's be clear on that. And you have to admit that. Dak had a subpar.
It happens. But Dak shouldn't have been throwing the ball in that game. They should have kept running. Did you see that first drive? Did you see that first drive when they just ran it down Buffalo's throat?
Yes.
And for you to get away from it.
I don't want to cut the argument short because we do have to get to this last topic because we do have to end the show. And Andres is not getting off the hook. Jerry, you had something to say real quick?
No, I was going to say a coordinator can definitely be way more impactful on a quarterback than a head coach. It just depends on the situation. I've said it on previous shows. Joe Brady was the biggest reason for Joe Burrow's impact at LSU last year, for sure. And he was a pass game coordinator. He wasn't the head coach. He wasn't the offensive coordinator. And now he's the pass game coordinator in Carolina. It's going to do the same thing with Teddy Bridgewater.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Ready for the last topic before we end? Dre, everybody.
We brought this match up on purpose for a reason for this topic.
What's the topic? Let's see it.
I
love these PowerPoints, man. They're awesome.
All right, Dre. All right, so I'll read the question first, and then make it quick.
Michael Jordan.
Make it concise. Make it everything, and then we'll go. If Jordan took LeBron's spot in every one of the finals he has played, what would his finals record be?
It would be the same.
Ooh, Agno said it'd be the same. You heard what he said.
It would be the same. If he had the same players that LeBron had to play with, it would be the same.
You saying he would be 6-0, or are you saying he would be 4-6?
I'm saying what LeBron's record would be what Jordan's record is.
Child, please, you done lost your marbles, John.
Yo,
you know what? We can all reminisce about Michael Jordan and the competition he had to play against, but there's basketball. I mean, if Michael Jordan had to play in a softer league, it would be. I don't think he would dominate as much, and he.
Oh, so you're telling me that Michael Jordan would have lost to the Dallas Mavericks?
Hold on, time out.
Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks?
I'm
asking you questions. I just got to ask you questions. He said it's going to be the same. I'm here. You telling me that Jason Terry would have held Michael Jordan to 8 points in a pivotal game in the goddamn finals? Is that what you telling me? That's what you say. Let me get my Stephen A. Smith. Hold on, wait. Let me get my Stephen A. Smith on for a minute. John, you are sitting here telling me on national television and the FCC airways that Jason Terry would have held Michael Jordan to 8 points in the NBA finals. That's what you're saying.
Blasphemous. There's the goal. Right there.
Perfect.
Dennis, what do you think his record would be?
I think everyone's just.
He only takes 2 losses. He loses to the Spurs the first time, and he loses to that super. He loses to that super.
Durant team.
That Durant team. The J.R. Smith game. The J.R. Smith joint. He loses that one. Those are 2 lose. So he goes 7-2.
Watch this. It's time for the fire starter to get started. Because I see John Aganos that got me started. Dennis does said exactly what I said. D-Wick, listen, I've been waiting for your behind on this one. I almost cussed. Listen, I've been waiting for you on this one. Sir, first and foremost, let's be very clear. Do I need to name the players that LeBron played with compared to the productive players Michael played with?
Are you going to make sure that you name it? Are you going to?
No. Here's what. Okay, my argument was this. Okay, I'm speaking now. I let you speak. I listen.
Oh no! I was thinking.
John, we done heard that. John, we done heard that trash truck juice you talking about. We don't want to hear no more. Ain't nobody care.
All right. You want to be disrespectful?
Hold on, no. So when we first had this conversation, there was 2 things that was named by D-Wick, and I'm putting them out there. Number one, D-Wick said that
I didn't say that.
No, he said D-Wick.
D-Wick said that LeBron had weak teams, number one.
I didn't say he had weak teams. I said he had injury-prone teams for two of them.
Injury-prone. Yes, injury-prone teams. Okay, so we're switching. Injury-prone teams, right? Number one.
I can tell you after your argument. Go ahead and say what you say. I can tell you after your argument exactly what I say.
Where you about to get torched at, right? So let's be clear. Here's all the All-Stars or former productive players Michael had on his team. You ready for this? Michael had Pippen, Rodman, Grant, Oakley, Hamilton, Stackhouse.
At
Name
that time.
another person he had legitimately. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
You said name a what?
It's getting hella quiet in here.
You said name a what? I didn't hear what you said.
Name any more productive All-Stars or former players that was productive Michael had.
So, okay, I'm trying to rephrase. So the question was, you're saying with Jordan's team, he would have won more finals? Because if it was with Jordan's team, he would have. But if he would have played with LeBron's team, he wouldn't have won more finals. That's what I was saying.
Hold on, sir. Let me finish, because I'm about to name all the players LeBron played in all those finals, sir. You ready for this list? This list is crazy. LeBron has had Wade, Bosh, Kyrie, Love, Ray Allen, Shaq, Mo, Jameson, Rondo.
Shaq wasn't in on them finals.
Just let him finish, because I'm gonna debunk everything you say. Say it, please.
He had him on the team. Okay, so he wasn't in.
Speak the truth.
Shaq was trash. You can't say that one.
So okay, so he still had Big Z. He still had. Did he have Boozer?
No, hold on, wait a minute. You name
No. These are just players. Wait a minute. These players he had on the team. We're not gonna include.
Just let him finish, because I want to say something, because we do gotta get here.
So we gonna forget that he had Kyle Kuzma. I'm sorry. We're gonna forget that he had Kyle Korver. He had Kyle Korver, Shane Battier. We're gonna forget that he had Hughes. We're gonna forget that he had Jefferson, J.R. Smith. We're gonna forget those players that he had too.
Mike Miller.
Thank you, Mike Miller. We're gonna forget that he had those players. Now stop this, D-Wick, because if I really go there, right? We talk about how many finals LeBron been in, but nobody wants to talk about how many finals LeBron should have missed due to injury-prone teams he played. Sir, are we gonna forget? I like that face. I love how that face looks right now. You ready for this? Because I pulled this up real quick too. Yeah, I told you I was ready to spin that tail today.
Hey, Martin, we're getting the show. I'm waiting for you.
Hold on, sir. We're not gonna sit here and pretend that in 2014, what was that? The year that Kyrie was spanking that tail with the Celtics when he went down. When
That's
it was
so
up to
stupid.
we gonna forget that Kyrie got injured that series.
But they was better without him.
They were better without him.
They were better without Kyrie.
They were so much better without him.
They couldn't have been better without him because they lost the series without him.
He never made it to the series. He never made it to the playoffs. Kyrie never made it to the playoffs.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He got injured.
Dennis, this is where you're wrong, buddy. In game one,
he's right.
Kyrie was playing. They blew out LeBron's team by 25 in Boston. It was 108-83, sir. In game one, Kyrie was playing. Thank you.
Actually, I believe him. I can believe him.
Yes, in game two, Kyrie was playing too. He got injured at the end of game two, in which the Cavaliers won the series later on.
Now that you named it,
I got this shit right here. I got it right here. I got all of his playoff games against all of the teams. First and foremost, we're not gonna talk about how they barely beat the Indiana Pacers. We're gonna go there. You want me to go there? Victor Oladipo? You sure you want me to go there, D-Wick? D-Wick? Because I can tell you.
I'm just waiting.
Who is he playing with, though? Like, think of.
Let him
Oh my God. When they were playing, no, Kyrie was not on that team when he was playing against the Pacers. Kyrie was not.
Hold on, one at a time. Look.
John, mute your mic. John, mute your mic.
Marcus, he wanted. I just gave him premise, and he wanted to say all the players that he played with. Listen carefully.
Go ahead and finish your statement so I can talk mine so we can end the show.
You cannot complain about the players he played with when they won 66 and 61 games respectively. Those Cleveland teams that y'all want to say that was so weak. Listen, tell me another big man that Michael Jordan has ever had in his career that's better than Adrunas Ilgauskas. Please tell me. I'll wait.
I'm waiting for you to finish your statement. I'm not gonna say anything until you're done.
Tell me another player Michael Jordan has ever had that was better than Kevin Love at the power forward position. And if you say Tony Kukoc, I'm about to die laughing. I'm about to die laughing. You bet not say nobody better at the power forward position. Don't do it. Don't do it, Marcus.
Dennis Rodman?
Hold on, watch this. Dennis Rodman averaged 20 and 12.
How many?
He had 20 rebounds.
Wasn't his job. That wasn't his job. He was a.
Don't matter.
Let me finish. I'll let you talk. Hang on. I'll let you talk. That's not what Dennis Rodman's game was. Dennis Rodman was a garbage man.
Dennis Rodman yes, we know that.
Okay. So when Dennis Rodman was pinching Karl Malone's ass and frustrating him and Alonzo Mourning, that was his job.
He was. Listen, I already named that he had
Dennis Rodman was a defensive shutdown player. That's what his job was. Rebound and play defense. Everybody knows the way to attack the Cavaliers back then was to abuse Draymond Green, abuse Kevin Love. Draymond Green abused Kevin Love.
They caught Kevin Love at the later part of his career when Kevin Love wasn't playing defense because he was the corner man that they wanted in Cleveland. I totally get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But as far as production is concerned, tell me again who Michael had that was productive as Kevin Love. Nobody. So don't do that.
Horace Grant.
Hold on.
Horace Grant.
No, stop.
Hey, hold on. Can y'all come on? Hold on. Let Andre finish so I can say my thoughts.
Wait. Hold on. I ain't done with him. So you saying Horace Grant was more productive than Chris Bosh?
No.
I'll wait.
Okay. Look, Andre, finish so I can say mine stuff. Come on.
I'm not done. Tell me another player that he had or at the guard position that was as good as Dwayne Wade. Oh,
yeah, crickets. Yeah.
Oh, a lot of silence is silence is deafening, brother. Don't sit here and tell me that Michael in a soft league would have had the same record as LeBron James. First and foremost, there's three things that you can get about Michael. Number one, pedigree. Number two, leadership. Number two, leadership in pulling out the best of his teammates. Number three, killer instinct. All three of those things right there is head and shoulders Michael Jordan over LeBron James. And he played defense. And he had to score and play defense every game. Please elaborate on that. Please elaborate. Now go ahead, D-Wade.
Go. You can go first. I only had two things to say, but you can go first. I already spoke. So.
Go ahead, because we're gonna end the show after I finish. That way we can, because it's got to go on network. So go ahead and just, because I was gonna say something. Just go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Live in the past, Andre. Live in the past.
Okay. So you guys said 7-2. Both of you guys said 7-2. So I'm not gonna go all the way into the stats and stuff, even though you named people that were past their prime or were bench players when you were playing as that you named players as. You said Boozer, you said Shaq, you said players like that were past their prime when they were playing. I'm gonna let that pass though. It's whatever it is what it is, you know. Let's just go on to the fact that you said 7-2. So they lose, he loses against the San Antonio Spurs the first time they play. That's just as simple as that.
To be very honest with you, I don't think he loses to the Spurs.
He loses to he loses to the San Antonio Spurs the first time they played. Anderson Varejao and Ugauskas and Larry Hughes, they weren't good. You know, it's just was that. Especially at the time, Big Z was on his way out. They were on their way out. He was on his way out. He only played 2 more years after that. Andre. He was on his way out. He was on his way
out. You can say they was on their way out, but I gave you premise again.
I get you, and I understand that. You gave me premise, but I'll tell you what happened in the finals. Andre. So let me finish. He was on his way out. Let me finish. He was on his way out. They lose that first series, so we go to the Maverick series. And as I told you yeah, he's gonna win that Maverick series. That's his first win right there. That's that first one, the finals win. They beat the Thunder. That's 2. So Michael Jordan has 2 rings right now. They beat the Spurs the first time. That's 3. The second time they run in against him when he has D-Wade, who's been injured the whole season and in the playoffs. Chris Bosh has been injured the whole season and in the playoffs. Mike Miller, who isn't on the team, as you have to name. Shane Battier, who was not playing well, as you tried to name, they don't win that series. They don't. D-Wade averaged 15 points a game that series. That's a big drop off what he averaged the year before that, or the year before that. He averaged 15 points. You know that? You know that?
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Go ahead, please.
Sorry, I just saw something. That was weird.
How many points did Pimpin average for his career?
You said what?
How many points did Scottie Pimpin average for his career?
You talking about in his finals? I'm talking about in the finals.
Sir, finals, including the finals.
No. I'm just talking about the finals when they played the Spurs. I don't care what he averages in the season.
No. I see what you're doing.
In the season.
No. You do. Listen, Marcus, this is why I asked him that question. I'm putting it out there very clearly. My man said that D-Wade only scored 15 points.
In the finals, though. I said I'm only going off of finals, Dre.
Finals, right? Please elaborate. How many times Michael Jordan's teammates scored more than 15 points in the finals? Go ahead. Teammates.
You tell me how many times?
Besides Scottie Pippen. Please.
I mean, here's what I'm gonna say to you. Here's all I'm gonna say to you on that point, Drake. Here's all I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna finish what I was saying. Once again, because I don't care about how many times he scored, how many times they scored. I'm telling you how many times. I'm telling you what happened in his finals. I'm telling you what happened when D-Wade was injured. I'm telling you what happened when Chris Bosh was injured. When you saw that they both were hobbled. That's what I'm telling you right now. Let's go to the point of the fact that the Spurs just were a better team at that too. Also,
I just want to say this: if he gets 15 from Wade and 10 from Bosh, they still win it.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. They had 5 people on the Spurs averaging more than 10 points in the series. They had one that was at 9. Like, no, it's not good enough. I'm sorry, but it's not good enough. That's not good enough.
I totally disagree.
Okay, I get you. But here, that's 2 losses right there. That's 3.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because Michael Jordan expected had a certain standard and an expectation on defense as it pertains.
And I understand you, but once again, you're not going to tell a man that, hey, you need to play better, even though you're injured and you've literally been playing injured for the whole season. That's not going to happen. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Kobe Bryant didn't do that. Kobe didn't do that.
Who? When he was in? When he was in? Who?
What?
Are you saying that Kobe that played when he was injured? I got you and I understand that. But once again, you're not going to tell me that D-Wade was going to play better when he was actually injured literally for the whole entire playoff series. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. Let me finish though. That's 3-2. That's 3-2. They weren't beating that Spurs team. That's 3-2 right now at the moment. They play against the Warriors the first time. K-Love and Kyrie are injured. They're not winning that. That's an L. It's as simple as that. That's an L. They're not beating that Warriors team without Kyrie and K-Love. He's not about to beat that team by himself. I'm sorry. You can scratch that. The second best player, the fourth best player on that team was Tristan Thompson. No offense against him, but he's not putting up 20 points a game like Scottie was putting up when in the finals. That's for sure. Let's go to the next one. He's 3-3 right now. Let's go to the next one. They play against they win that one. That's the year that LeBron came back from 3-1. Michael Jordan never goes down. He wouldn't go down 3-1. They win that series though. He's 4-3 right now. He's 4-3. The last couple series that he played in though, against the Warriors and against Kevin Durant, he loses those. He ends up with a 4-5 record. As I said, he's not beating both of those super teams with KD. That's impossible. And if you think he is with no second star,
Kyrie and Kevin Love. That one with Kyrie and Kevin Love. That one.
No, it wasn't. Kyrie was gone after the championship. They won. Kyrie left the year after that. No,
he stayed. He stayed another
No, he
year.
did not. No, he did not.
Okay. All right.
No, he didn't.
Kyrie stayed another year after they won the championship.
You sure?
Yeah.
He did.
He stayed another year, and they lost to Kevin Durant and them, and then he left.
Okay, you're right. He did. No. You're right. He did stay. He stayed another year.
They're gonna win that one.
They're not winning that one. Absolutely not.
They're gonna win that one.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're not winning that one.
Here's why
that Warriors team was stupid.
Here's why I'm gonna say Michael and them will win. First and foremost, in this soft era, Michael Jordan would make either Thompson, Curry, or whoever they small forward is would have to extenuate heavy defense the whole entire game. And I'm a coach. Do you not understand what it's like to have to extend yourself on defense for a full game? Let me tell you. I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what happens when you have to extend yourself on defense. Do you not remember Trevor Ariza went 0-15 shooting from the field? Do you remember that night for the Rockets? Do you not remember that? Anybody remember that night? Trevor Ariza, the three-point man who could shoot for the corner anywhere, went 0 for 15 because he had to extenuate himself on defense. Michael would make, I don't give a damn who it is, 1, 2, and 3, extenuate on defense. Now, Michael can guard 1, 2, 3, and 4 on defense too. So whoever was having a hot night, Michael was guarding.
Dre, real quick, and then this is gonna, because we do have to end. We are over. Real quick though, before we end, Dre, what you're not understanding with that Warriors team is what they did with their best players, what they did with LeBron, what they did with Kyrie, that they didn't do the year before that when they lost, was that they took turns guarding them. They took turns because they had 4 players that can play defense. Do you honestly think that they were just going to tire themselves out when you have 4 stars, when you have a person that can put up 40 easily? You have a person that can put up another person that can put up 40, another person that put up 62 without taking a dribble? No, they're literally going to, because guess what? 3 of those players play good defense. Draymond plays good defense. Kevin Durant plays good defense. Klay Thompson plays good defense. Guess what? They're all going to take turns guarding that man. You really think that they're all just going to guard him one-on-one for the whole entire game? Absolutely not.
Michael would drop 50. Here's why. Michael, if you know anything about Michael, you talk about Kevin Thompson not having to dribble the ball to score. You telling me Michael not the epitome of that?
They want you to drop 50 because guess what? That means your teammates aren't going to be involved. That's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do.
Michael would drop 50.
They want you to do that. Dre, they want you to do that. Hey, Dre, we're over though.
You know that. But Michael would drop 50.
We can conversation. We're over. We got to look. We got to end this show, Dre. We're over. With that being,
LeBron put up 44 and still lost to that Warriors team. By the way,
thank you. But with that being said, though, thank you for tuning in to Monday Night Madness mix, the Monday Night mix. Mashup, the Monday Night Madness in the vault. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you to the Rise Up family. Thank you to OnPoint Network. Thank you guys. We love you guys. Have a good one.